Chatham, Massachusetts Veterans Field for this matchup of the Cape Cod Baseball League. It's YD visiting Chatham. Brian McLaughlin with TJ Mathewson here pregame this evening before Chatham and YD face off. TJ, last time out, Chatham topped YD 7-3. YD was able to rebound well following the last time they played here at Veterans Field, but Chatham's pitching staff absolutely dominated YD the last time out.
Yeah, so Tom Holliday has this system he likes to roll with, especially earlier in the season to try and get a look as many arms as possible. He likes to roll out 3 guys for 3 innings apiece, usually around that. On Saturday, we saw Colby Kubicek for 4 innings, Mason Hazelwood for 3, and then Ty Madden for 2, and they were pretty spectacular. They shut down this Red Sox offense. They struck him out 12 times, allowed just 3 runs on 5 hits. I want to focus on Hazelwood, though. Had an immaculate inning in the 7th inning. We didn't even realize it here on air. Me and you were on the call that one. Didn't realize it, but it was something special there here on Saturday night as these Chatham pitchers were just locked in. They were going after the YD hitters. They were constantly ahead 0-1, 1-2, 0-2, and being able to put YD in all sorts of bad counts, not too much hard contact allowed. On the other side of the pitching side for that game, it was not pretty for the Red Sox. They fell behind a lot of guys, many 1-0, 2-0 counts in that one. Ryan Moore, David Steele, Trevor Niskern all really struggled in that one. They're going to probably want to see a better pitching performance out of your staff today as Scott Pickler will go to his opening day starter a week ago in John Beller.
You mentioned John Beller. He gets the start out of USC. In that one game, he went 3 2/3 innings, struck out 4, and walked just 1 back on opening day against Katuitt. On the other side of things, it's Zarian Sharp, the lefty from UNC Wilmington. He has made 1 appearance for Chatham this season. He went 3 innings on the mound, like TJ mentioned. The go-to strategy for this Angler squad. He did not walk any, struck out 4. So another promising arm for the Anglers on the mound this evening. But now let's turn to the offenses, where it's really been the Austin Wells show. Recently for YD, the Cape Cod League Player of the Week this past week after hitting 3 home runs in the doubleheader against Katuitt. He leads the Cape Cod League in long balls, TJ. This YD offense recovered well, led by Wells following the Chatham matchup.
It was some special stuff we were treated to this weekend, on Sunday especially, against the Katuitt Kettleers. Katuitt comes in, top-ranked offense in the league, yet YD welcomes them into their home ballpark and really smacks the baseball around. We saw 7 total home runs, 3 of them coming off the bat of Austin Wells. There were some cheap home runs hit on Sunday in that doubleheader. Austin Wells had none of the 3. All 3 of his were absolutely touched. He was locked in at the plate and well-deserved by that, winning Player of the Week with his 3 home run, 6 RBI performance on Sunday. But if we're going to talk about the offense bouncing back as a whole, they struck out 1 time in the first game against Katuitt. As we mentioned, coming back after striking out 12 times against Chatham on Saturday, and coming out in that first game, excellent approach, not chasing after too many pitches, and in return, only striking out 1 time in that first game. And really in a complete offensive performance. And in a pair of games that in the second game, especially, YD let slip away, which led to them tying that second game, still coming away with 3 points on Sunday.
Been a really strong offense all season for YD, despite playing the fewest games in the Cape League due to a couple weather cancellations. They have the 2nd most runs, 2nd best batting average. They are tied for the 2nd most long balls as well with 5. Wells, of course, with 3 of those. On the other side of things, though, Chatham's offense has struggled a bit. They've gotten on base a lot, but the power department has been down. They have only 2 home runs on the season, but that's expected to change around with a couple major additions to their lineup. Batting 3rd, Spencer Torkelson from ASU. He hit 23 long balls for your Sun Devils this year, and all the way down in the 8th spot, the first baseman Alex Terral from Miami hit 24 home runs for the U this past season, TJ. That's a big-time impact now in the middle of this order with some power.
Yeah, you couldn't pick a couple better guys to come at the same time for a lineup we mentioned that's really struggling, just not really struggling, but struggling in the power department with the 2 home runs. Both these guys, when that ball hits the barrel of their bat, it just sounds different. And you watch it, the balls get launched into the air here at Veterans Field, and it just goes. Some friendly dimensions here for the hitters. I mean, Torkelson, it may be a little trickier for him. It's 340 down the left field line, 357 out in left center. But for Terral, only 314 feet down that right field line with a nice short 357. Again, in right center field on that hill out beyond the right field fence.
Lineups being exchanged at home plate. It is a cool, foggy night here in Chatham. The fog has rolled in, but looks like we're going to get it started. The lights on here in effect at Veterans Field. DJ, the fog adds a different dimension. It feels kind of damp here at Veterans Field this evening. How does that affect the pitchers? How does that affect the batters, who has to feel kind of odd swinging in the wood bats? Then for any fielder on a ball straight up in the air, it's going to blend right into these clouds.
Yeah, it's going to be a little tricky. The fog, luckily, right now, first pitch, not too thick. You see a nice dusting of it. It comes to about, I would say, 15 to 20 feet above the ground right now. It's thin, so you're able to see at least medium depth fly balls in the air. You hit one straight up, Ryan. I'm not sure if they'll be able to see it. You're going to have to get a good beat on it. We had a game here last year where YD and Chatham faced off. Second game between these two on the summer. One YD won 5-3, but the game was shortened and called in the 8th inning due to fog, where the fog got so thick here from where we're sitting behind home plate, you could not see the outfield wall or the outfielders. That's when you get a taste of really just how game-changing this fog can be. And if there haven't been so many rainouts here early in the season in the first week, we've already had 2 rainouts on the season. My count is correct. We would honestly probably see this game get maybe pushed back a little bit. Maybe still play today, but maybe wait and see if the fog clears a little bit. But the Red Sox in the past 4 or 5 days have had 2 games pushed back. They're now in a stretch where they're going to have to play 13 games in 12 days. That's a tough stretch. And the only off day is the workout at Fenway, which is scheduled for next Thursday. So we're going to see these 2 teams try and play through the fog, and they're going to have to deal with the elements.
Chatham 4-3, second place in the Eastern Division. YD is 3-2-1 at 7 points, tied for third in those Eastern Division standings. It's YD visiting Chatham at Veterans Field. We'll have first pitch for you coming up next on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Veterans Field, set to get underway between YD and Chatham in this midweek matchup of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Brian McLaughlin here with TJ Mathewson. TJ, this Chatham team started off hot, led by the pitching staff, and now some big names in the middle of their lineup. What does YD have to do today on the road against the Anglers?
Just got to keep the ball down. There's not much else I can say. But when you have, well, we're speaking of course, Spencer Torkelson and Alex Terrell, both two arriving to Chatham today, each getting their first start. Torkelson in the 3-hole, Terrell in the 8-hole. A combined 47 home runs between the two this past spring for Arizona State and Miami, respectively. But when you got the special kind of home run hitters that they are, there's really not much you can do. You just got to do your best to hit your spots, work ahead in the count, and make them come to you. It's always difficult with the great ones, and that's what John Beller and the whole YD staff will get to face today. But first, we're going to get a look at that YD lineup.
Zarian Sharp on the mound for Chatham. The lineup he'll face for YD. Brad Beasley back for YD, returner from 2018. He's in center field leading off. Luke Waddell, another returner, is at shortstop batting second. Austin Wells, the Cape League Player of the Week, bats third and will do the catching for the Red Sox this evening. Riley Terrata out of Dayton is in the cleanup spot. Tate Samuelson makes his debut for the Red Sox at first base from Cal Poly. Andrew Eister, still hitting above 500 from South Carolina, bats sixth. RJ Yeager bats seventh and plays third base. Sam Hall out of Clemson is in right field and bats eighth. And Drew Swift from Arizona State will play second base and bat ninth. That's all against Zarian Sharp, the 6'5" lefty from UNC Wilmington. Sharp this year for UNC Wilmington appeared in 16 games, 13 starts, a 3-3 record, did make a save out of the bullpen, and had a 4.21 ERA and 57 2/3 on the mound. He's a 6'5" lefty, 205 pounds long and lanky out there on the mound. TJ, what are you looking for from the YD offense against Sharp?
Well, they did a spectacular job scoring runs against the Catuit Kettleers on Sunday. The long ball helped him out, of course. It was very favorable hitting conditions at Red Wilson on Sunday. Wind was blowing out. Of course, the short dimensions helped out a lot too, but they really just put together some good at-bats. They did not chase out of the strike zone. They weren't falling behind that much, these Catuit pitchers. And you're going to want to see the same today against Chatham staff that, tops near the tops in the league in strikeouts, and they're third in strikeouts with 67. They have walked the fourth most with 28, so going to have to work these counts, try and work ahead, get a good pitch to hit.
Beasley digs into the right-handed batter's box, pacing around the mound amidst some light fog. Is Zarian Sharp out on the mound? He'll wear the Chatham home whites with blue pinstripes. Blue hats for the Anglers this evening. YD in their road reds and white bottoms. Here's a first pitch to Brad Beasley. It's a called strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-1 to Beasley. Sharp, the lefty, looks in for the sign. Beasley stares out. Here's the 0-1. Fouled back by Beasley, and he's quickly down 0-2. Sharp did not walk any, in his only appearance for Chatham. He struck out 4. Only walked 23 this year at school, so he's going to live in the zone. He'll wind. And the 0-2 to Beasley. Fastball misses away for the first ball of today's ball game. 1-2. Fog starting to settle here at Veterans Field. The 1-2 to Beasley. Line drive, right side, going to slowly dribble its way to Dones at second. He'll sidearm a throw to first, where Terrell squeezes it for the first down. Let's meet the defense behind Zarian Sharp this evening. Aiden Fernandez is in left field. Drenis Ozuna, man center. And Jamal O'Gwin amidst the fog out right in front of the hill in right field here at Veterans. Caden Polkovich is at the hot corner at third. Ben Ramirez, the USC man, remains at shortstop. Tyler Dones is at second base. He just made the first out, and Alex Terrell is at first. First pitch to Luke Waddell misses down and away in this lefty-lefty matchup. Received by Brady Smith, the catcher of today's matchup for Chatham. 1-0 count to Waddell. Sharp working quickly from the wind. Here's the 1-0. Fastball right down the middle for strike one. 1-1. Couple returners atop this Whitey lineup from last season, TJ. Both Beasley and Waddell back for pick squad. Here's the 1-1 from Sharp. Swing and a miss from Waddell over an off-speed pitch, and he's down 1-2.
That just shows you the trust that Pick has in these two guys. Instantly getting here, and both Waddell on Sunday, Beasley today, instantly right back into the top of the lineup.
Waddell 2 for 7 so far for YD. The 1-2 dives down and outside in the dirt where Smith smothers it. Waddell has walked twice. He's already scored 3 runs atop the lineup. Was a real table setter in that entire doubleheader. Hit over 300 this spring at Georgia Tech. Had a great year in the ACC. Here's the 2-2 from Sharp. Sharp grounder, left side of the infield. Chested down by Polkovich. He'll throw to first. It's in time. Hard hit ball off the bat of Waddell. But a good recovery after Polkovich knocked it down at third base. And there's 2 down with nobody on for YD in the first.
Pretty close play at first base. Waddell on what looked like a routine ground ball, despite the bobble by Polkovich, made it a really close play over at first. Only got him by about half a step, but 2 quick outs for this YD lineup.
Sharp now against Austin Wells. A highly anticipated matchup. First pitch misses away to Wells. Off speed, 1-0. Wells hitting .350 this season through a week of Cape League play. 3 long balls, 8 runs driven in, and he's the Cape League Player of the Week. The 1-0. Misses down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. An early respect. Back-to-back off speed to Wells.
Yeah, not trying to leave him anything over the middle of the plate. Anything, probably anywhere from the knees up to his belt buckle. The sweet spot for a lefty swing.
Sharp brings the 2-0. Swing and a miss from Wells. 2 balls and a strike. 90-mile-an-hour fastball buzzed by Wells that time. That was a big swing. But it's unlikely Chatham's going to get Wells to chase. Has shown a great eye with 4 early walks. The 2-1 to Wells. Grounded foul down the first base line. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He has shown a bit of a penchant to strike out. 8 strikeouts for Wells so far. 2-2 count to Wells now. Top of the first here at Veterans between YD and Chatham. Base is clear, 2 down. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fouled back by Wells, out of play. If Wells can extend the inning, Riley Terrata is on deck for YD. Everybody straight away to Wells. He's shown good power to left center. It's where 2 of his 3 home runs have been. Now the 2-2. Off speed, down low, and it's full. And that's what makes Wells so dangerous. Lays off that changeup, it looks like, from Sharp. An advanced approach for a kid who just finished his freshman season at Arizona. Now the 3-2. Fouled back again by Wells, and he's battling here in his first at-bat against Chatham today.
Yeah, seen only maybe 1 pitch right in his wheelhouse, able to foul that one back. And has been able to lay off those ones, borderline outside, diving out of the strike zone. We'll see what Sharp goes with here.
Another payoff pitch from Sharp. Fouled back again by Wells and out of play. 3 straight pitches for a strike from Sharp, and Wells has spoiled all 3. The Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, one of the most highly touted prospects early in this Cape League season. He's shown it on the diamond. Another 3-2 from Sharp. Wells drives it deep in the air right center. Going back is Ozuna into the right center gap. He's near the wall. It will one-hop the wall. Wells around first, and he will churn into second base. Austin Wells is on fire. The Cape League Player of the Week gets YD going in the top of the first with a 2-out double.
Now that's just a fantastic at-bat. Up there at the plate, sees everything Sharp has to offer pretty much. Off-speed, fastball alone, fouls a few pitches back, then finally gets that one he likes to hit, able to drive it out into the right center field gap, touch that one up as a one-hop the wall, and another extra base hit for Austin Wells.
Now he's on second base in scoring position with 2 down for Riley Terrada, hitting just 176 early in this Cape League season. Sharp from the stretch for the first time, deals. Terrada swings, softly hit into right field. O'Gwynn coming in. He'll field on one hop. Wells coming to the plate. The throw cut off by Terrell. His throw to the plate, not in time. Wells scores standing up. Back-to-back 2-out hits for YD. Get them on the board first in the top of the first. 1-0 Red Sox.
Well, we've been really waiting for Riley Terrada to break out. We saw it a little bit on Sunday, went 2 for 4 with a pair of doubles and a pair of RBIs. Goes up, looking for that first pitch. He gets the first pitch over the plate from Zarian Sharp and just goes right the other way with it into right field for a base hit, and it was just deep enough to score Austin Wells, who showed off good speed coming around third base and scoring.
Now Tate Samuelson, his first at-bat for YD, cuts in, misses at a first pitch fastball. Terrada, his first RBI as a Red Sox, drives in Wells. The throw from O'Gwynn was just offline, forcing Terrell to cut it off. The relay man in the grass on the infield from first base. His throw then late to notch Wells. The 0-1 slashed foul out of play down the right field line, and it's 0-2 to Samuelson. A first baseman from Cal Poly. Hit .298 with 5 long balls this past spring. .783 OPS. .0-2 count to Samuelson. He'll deal. Terrada takes off, but it's fouled back by Samuelson. We'll see another 0-2 pitch. Has to feel good for Riley Terrada after, like you mentioned, TJ, a slow start in the middle of the order. Drive and run to give YD the lead here in the top of the first. Sharp has allowed his first run here for Chatham. Another 0-2. Samuelson lifts it in the air, first base side. Terrell will give it a look, but he runs out of real estate. Lands in the trees down the first base line, and another 0-2 upcoming to Samuelson. Sharp struck out 61 and 57 2/3 this spring for UNC Wilmington. He had 4 strikeouts in 3 innings, so a guy who's sitting low 90s at the moment can get his share of punch-outs, but both Wells and now Samuelson battling. Another 0-2. High and tight, a ball and 2 strikes now to Samuelson.
Again, more good 2-strike hitting for this Red Sox order. Not going down easy so far.
Terrada gets a big lead at first base. 2 outs, top of the first. YD on top 1-0, and Sharp will step off.
And only 36 strikeouts and 205 at-bats for Samuelson at Cal Poly this spring.
The runner takes off. Another 1-2 fouled off down the third base line. That time, Samuelson got the wood to the off speed.
And you look up, already 25 pitches for Zarian Sharp here in the first inning.
Large part thanks to deep at-bats from Austin Wells, who had a 2-out double, would come around to score. And now Tate Samuelson. Sharp from the stretch. The lanky 6'5 lefty sets at the belt. Stares at Terrada. Big lead. He goes again. Another 1-2. Grounded left side. 2 hops to Polkovich. He'll throw to first on a line to Terrell in time to notch Samuelson for the 3rd out of the first. But YD strikes first with 2 2-out hits. They score 1 and leave 1. After 1, it's YD 1, Chatham 0. Bottom of the first. Coming up on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the first in Chatham, it's Whitey off to a quick start, up 1-0 over the Anglers. John Beller gets to work with a lead on the mound, the lefty from USC. As we mentioned in the pregame, one start for Whitey this season. That was opening day where he went 3 2/3, struck out 4, walked 1 in that start against the Kettleers, getting his hand at the Chatham lineup today. Let's take a look at that lineup Beller will face off against. Third baseman Chatham Polkovich leads off. Tyler Dones from West Virginia bats second. Spencer Torkelson making his much-anticipated 2019 Cape League debut in the 3 spot. Jamal O'Gwin bats fourth from USC. Brady Smith, the catcher, is fifth. Ben Ramirez, the shortstop, also from USC, bats sixth. Aiden Fernandez from Florida International bats seventh. Alex Terrell and his 24 bombs from Miami bats eighth. And Drenis Ozuna rounds out the order for the Anglers. First pitch coming from Beller to Polkovich. This is down low for ball 1. Polkovich, the switch hitter, batting from the right side against the lefty Beller. 280 on the young season with a double. The 1-0. Lifted on the infield, right around home plate. Beller calling for it down the first base line. Now taking it is Samuelson, and he'll make a basket catch. Drawing some oohs and ahs from the crowd. Beller, one of the most vocal Red Sox, was calling it loudly, but then Samuelson flew in at the last moment, calling off his pitcher for the first out of the bottom of the first.
And yeah, that's the right play. You always, when there's an opportunity, you want to let your infielder make the play on that ball. They have a better angle at it than the starting pitcher, and Beller, who settles right underneath it. And good communication there for him to get out of the way.
First pitch to Tyler Dones, right down the middle, strike 1. A fastball at 86 from Beller.
And a good first test of this fog here with that pop-up on the infield. Well, it didn't seem like the Whitey infielders had that much trouble finding it up there in the fog.
The 0-1. Strike 2. Called strike by Rick Emerson, our home plate umpire this evening. Nicky Garcia is at first, and Joe Caraco man's third base. 0-2 count now to Dones. Here's the pitch from Beller. Fastball off the plate away to the righty. A ball and 2 strikes. Whitey on top, 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Dones, the second baseman from West Virginia, 2 for 12 for Chatham thus far. Here's a 1-2 from Beller. Swing and a miss, his first strikeout of the night. Puts Dones down. A quick 2 outs for Beller on the mound.
The designated hitter from Arizona State University.
Here's Spencer Torkelson.
Spencer Torkelson
gets a good hand from this Chatham crowd. You've seen him hit some long home runs, TJ. This guy's got the pop at the plate. A anticipated first-round pick in next year's draft. And in the batter's box right now between him and Austin Wells is some talent. First pitch to Torque. Off the plate inside from Beller. 1-0.
So people talk so much about Torque's power. He's not just a power hitter. His approach at the plate is second to none. He's willing to spray the ball all over the field. He's got a nice, short, compact swing from the right side. Great coverage all over the plate.
The 1-0. Line drive, left field. That will drop for a base hit. Spencer Torkelson will stop at first, and there's that great approach, TJ. I mean, Hunter Bishop was a top 10 pick in this year's draft at ASU, and he had a few less home run, 1 less home run than Torkelson, and 2 less, and it was just hit 342 while Torque hit 351.
Yeah, really, that approach right there. You mentioned Bishop, top 10 pick. Saw him up here on the Cape the last 2 seasons with the Brewster Whitecaps. Just 22 home runs opposed to Torque's 23. But we see the approach right there from Torque. He gets a pitch outside.
First pitch to Jamal O'Gwin misses in the dirt that Wells will block.
So we see a pitch that's not exactly in his wheelhouse. Looked like an off-speed pitch that missed just maybe on the outside corner, maybe a little low, but his coverage of the plate, even though he gets that off the end of the bat, he's able to get just enough on that to get it into the outfield for a base hit. And he's not just going to sell out for a home run. He'll settle for whatever he can get.
The 1-0 to O'Gwin. Change-up dives low. 2 balls and no strikes.
And, he started off the season really slow. The first few weeks of the season was not hitting very many home runs. A lot of singles, hitting for a high average. But the home runs really came later in the season when teams were starting to respect Hunter Bishop and Alika Williams.
2-0. Off-speed called strike, 2-1 to O'Gwen.
When they're trying to respect them a lot more, gave Torque finally a lot more pieces to hit. He had a lot more protection in the lineup as opposed to his freshman year when he led the country in home runs and ended up with about the same with 23. It's just incredible. You don't see many guys have 20-plus home runs in back-to-back seasons in college anymore.
2-1 misses up to O'Gwen. 3 balls and a strike. Torkelson on first, Whitey on top, 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning. 2 down for O'Gwen. Trojans facing off here. John Beller on the mound from USC and Jamal O'Gwen at the plate. Ben Ramirez due up in a few spots, also from USC. A 3-1 fouled back by O'Gwen, and the count is full with 2 down. Torque will be off from first. It was O'Gwen whose throw was just a bit offline, trying to cut down Austin Wells at the plate in the top of the first. Beller from the stretch here with Torkelson on first base. And the 3-2. Fouled back by O'Gwen. I think a lot of people, TJ, just back to the Torque conversation, get drawn to the 23 home run numbers. We get drawn to guys like Austin Wells hitting 3 home runs in the first week of a season. But those two both, the approach you can see is there in their swings. None of them are trying to do too much, even just on one swing we saw from each today. The 3-2 misses down low, and it's ball 4. So after YD got things going with 2 outs in the top of the first, Chatham does as well. We have runners on first and second with 2 down after the O'Gwen walk.
Yeah, we're going to see how Beller deals with allowing these 2-out base runners. A lot of that came back to hurt Whitey the first time they played Chatham back here on Saturday. So we're going to see how Beller's able to get out of this. And we talk about for these powers, it's what they do when they don't hit home runs. That what separates them from the guys that, you know, let's Adam Dunn, for example, the prototypical.
First pitch breaking ball called, strike to Brady Smith. It's 0-1.
Prototypical all-or-nothing kind of guy, home run, walker, strikeout. So that's really the point I make when drilling in for Torque.
Runners on first and second, 2 outs, bottom of the first. Brady Smith, the starting catcher today for Chatham. He's 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Off speed from Beller, and it's 0-2 to Smith. Beller not a guy that's going to overpower you. He's already relying on changeup and curveballs with runners on base here in the bottom of the first. Sits in the mid to upper 80s with his fastball. Ahead 0-2 to Smith. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on the hook. John Beller strikes out 2 in the first. There were 2 hits, no runs for Chatham. They leave 2 aboard. 1-0 YD after 1. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
The left fielder for
Top of the second inning, YD on top, 1-0 over Chatham. Here at Veterans Field in Chatham, it's Eister, Yeager, and Hall due up in the second for YD against Sharp on the mound for Chatham. Red Sox struck first in the top of the first inning on two two-out hits from Austin Wells and Riley Terrata. Sharp will work from the windup to Eister. First pitch fastball misses down low. 1-0 to Eister. Eister has cooled off a bit at the plate, but he's still 8 for 15, hitting over 500 for the Red Sox. Here's the 1-0. Awkward swing from Eister. It's fouled back to the netting. A ball and a strike. Couple doubles and a home run for the South Carolina outfielder as well. He was just so hot. He's struggling these last couple games, TJ, and still mashing the baseball.
Yeah, we're going to be interested to see how he's going to work himself back into a groove.
The 1-1. Changeup misses down and away. 2 balls and a strike.
Got a favorable matchup here as a right-handed hitter with the lefty Sharp on the bump.
Scott Pickler also choosing to move him down in the lineup after the last couple times in the 2 spot of the order. The 2-1. Line fouled on the third base line. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Eister just a hair early on the fastball from Sharp.
Well, those are the types of swings you like to see. Got a good piece of that one. Just ahead of 89 as he kept it inside the foul line by about 1.5 feet.
Led the Gamecocks this past year in hitting. Leading off the top of the second for YD. Here's the 2-2 from Sharp. Misses down and away, off speed. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Eister.
Yeah, good take there. It would have been interesting to see if Brady Smith could have held on to that one and framed it. It's kind of interesting if that was a little bit outside or not. But regardless, another full count for the Red Sox. They've done a great job of working the pitch count of Zarian Sharp.
The 3-2. Grounded, left side of the infield. Polkovich to his left is up with it. Sidearm to throw to first in time to get Eister. 3 ground outs early to Polkovich through an inning into third. YD on top, 1-0, and that brings up R.J. Yeager.
Yeah, and solidly hit ground ball from Andrew Eister. He just finds the wrong spot of the infield to hit it to Caden Polkovich. He's made a couple of nice plays here early.
Now Yeager playing third base this evening from Mercer. 1 for 7 so far as a Red Sox. Tall righty against Sharp. First pitch. Fastball, a called strike, knee high to Yeager. 0-1. Mentioned that pitch count. We're through an inning and a third, already at 35 pitches for Sharp on the mound. Here's the 0-1. Skied by Yeager, back behind home plate and out of play. 0-2 quickly now to Yeager. Fog really starting to settle in now. We're in the top of the second. Sharp winds. Here's the 0-2. Fouled back again by Yeager, and once again, a YD Red Sox hitter not going down without a fight at the plate.
It's Sharp's trying to use some put-away pitches to get these Red Sox hitters, but either they haven't chased or they're able to just get enough of it to foul it off and keep the at-bat alive.
Another 0-2 from Sharp. Grounded again left side. Polkovich right at him this time will throw to first and gets Yeager by a step. Great start for Caden Polkovich down the third baseline, and there's once again 2 quick outs for Chatham in the field, this time in the top of the second. And a lot of times, TJ, when you see a pitcher with a high pitch count, 38 now for Sharp, you think he's struggling with command. Sharp has been working up in these counts. He just hasn't been able to get that put-away pitch.
Yeah, it's everything. Once he gets to 2 strikes, these YD hitters have been swinging protectively and able to keep themselves alive at the plate.
First pitch to Sam Hall misses low for ball 1. Hall, the Clemson utility man, playing right field this evening. We've already seen him in center field for YD. Was recruited as a middle infielder, but primarily played left field this year for Clemson. The 1-0. Fouled back by Hall, and it's a ball and a strike. Hall 2 for 8 so far for YD. Scored a run. He has struck out 4 times. 2 down, YD on top, 1-0 here in the top of the second. 1-1, Sharp deals. Swung on, fouled right side, and it lands harmlessly near the Whitey dugout. Hall didn't get it all that well. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs now to Hall. Sharp gets a fresh baseball, looks in at Smith, brings the glove up to his eyes. He'll wind. And now the 1-2. Fouled off again by Hall. Look out over in the Chatham dugout. A couple guys hopped up out of the way, but I think it just hit the protective netting. No harm done over there. Hall, the speedster, stole 30 bags this year for Clemson, but hasn't been able to utilize that yet for YD. Another 1-2 is again fouled off by Hall. His 2-strike approach for YD proving costly early on the mound for Sharp. The way this has gone so far, Hall's going to end up grounding one to Polkovich at third.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
Here's another 1-2. High and away, Hall lays off the fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Of the 5 outs that the Anglers have recorded, all 5 of them have been on the ground, and 4 of them have been to Caden Polkovich at third.
Only balls that Whitey's gotten in the air, fallen for hits. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Here's the pitch from Sharp. This is upstairs, and it's full. Another good at-bat by a YD hitter. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the second with YD on top, 1-0. Hall chokes up a bit on the bat. A wide stance in the right-handed batter's box. Sharp, the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Able to retire Sam Hall. First strikeout of the day for Sharp on the mound. And YD goes in order in the second. They're on top, 1-0. It's Ramirez, Fernandez, and Corral. 2 up, 4. The Anglers when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the second, YD leads Chatham 1-0 here in Chatham. It's Ben Ramirez leading off for the Anglers here against John Beller in the bottom of the second inning. Beller worked around a couple 2-out base runners in the bottom of the first. He got 2 strikeouts in the first frame as well on the mound for YD. The lefty from USC. We never met the defense behind him. Quickly, it's Andrew Eister in left, Brad Beasley in center, Sam Hall in right for the Red Sox. Here's the first pitch to Ramirez. Misses down low and an off speed, 1-0. On the infield, R.J. Yeager and Luke Waddell on the left side. Drew Swift is Waddell's double play partner, and Tate Samuelson gets his first start at the first base bag. The 1-0 to Ramirez. Fouled back right into the netting, a ball and a strike. Ramirez hitting .240, a couple doubles so far for the Anglers. Facing his teammate from school at USC on the mound. The 1-1. Misses inside with the breaking ball. These guys are competing hard, but definitely has to be some friendly competition and for bragging rights when they get back to school in this one. The 2-1 from Bell. Swung on, lifted in the air, shallow left field. Coming on is Andrew Weister. He spots it through the fog and makes the catch. First out here in the second is a shallow fly from Ramirez.
The left fielder.
An interesting route there from Andrew Weister. I'm wondering if he was able to see it off the bat up there in the fog. He was able to find it to record the out, but he took a bit of a squiggly line to get to that one in shallow left center field. As I only expect the fog here to thicken as we get later in the night. So we're going to see just how much.
First pitch to Fernandez, grounded left side. Waddell to his left at short, fields and throws for a quick second out of this second inning.
But yeah, I just wonder if this fog is going to be able to hold up long enough for us to get through enough game to call it official. It's 5 innings here in the Cape League for it to be recorded as an official game, but already peering out towards the outfield. It's really been sort of on and off here early, but as the sun goes down, as we near 8 o'clock here on the East Coast, it's only probably going to get thicker as it rolls in from the water.
Now Alex Terrell with 2 outs. First pitch from Beller. Misses inside for ball 1. Beller doing his best, working quickly on the mound to speed this thing along. YD leads 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Terrell hit 24 home runs for Miami this past year. The 1-0 from Beller. Misses at the eyes of Terrell. 2 balls and no strikes. Terrell playing first base today for the Anglers. The 2-0 from Beller. Check swing. They'll appeal to third, and Joe Caraco says he did go around. Strike 1. Interesting to see where Terrell's at in the lineup, the 8th spot with those 24 long balls. You expect to pencil him in with Spencer Torkelson in the middle of this order. The 2-1. Line drive fouled on the right field line. And it's 2-2, Beller to Terrell.
And even if you're just trying to extend the lineup, you think the strategy is more is to get your best hitters as many at-bats as possible. But as Tom Holliday sees, an 8th spot here, at least in his debut, is a good spot for him.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Beller deals to Terrell. Swing and a miss in the dirt, but it gets away from Wells. He'll chase it down the third baseline to the Anglers' dugout. That's going to be a strikeout, but reached base. There's no play for Wells. Terrell didn't even really have to hustle down the first baseline. He reaches with 2 down.
And that's a shame because that's a great pitch there from John Beller. He buries an off-speed pitch down and out of the strike zone, gets Terrell to just flail at it, but it takes a weird hop off the mitt, it looked like, of Austin Wells and kicked enough to his left towards the Anglers' dugout, away from first base, too, to make it just an impossible play to get Terrell out at first.
From the stretch now is Beller to the 9-man, Drenis Ozuna. First pitch called, strike at the knees to Ozuna. It's 0-1. So the 3rd strikeout of the game for Beller, but it's still allows a man to reach. 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Terrell on first. 1-0 YD. The 0-1. Breaking ball fouled back by Ozuna. Beller's up big, 0-2. Beller only struck out 4 men in 3 2/3 last time out. Looking for strikeout number 4 here for the Oklahoma Wesleyan man. The 0-2. Misses up high. Ball 1 of this at bat. Ozuna hitting .250 so far for the Anglers. 3 walks, but he has struck out 7 times. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Beller from the stretch, deals. It flared in the air, shallow right center, going over for Sam Hall. He'll settle and make the catch in the right center gap. Off the hands of Ozuna for the 3rd out of the second. Chatham strands 1 in the frame. Whitey on top, 1-0 after 2. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
We would like to
Top of the third inning from a foggy Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts. 1-0. YD leads over the hometown Chatham Anglers. It'll be 9-1-2 coming into the plate for Scott Pickler's ball club. Drew Swift, Brad Beasley, and Luke Waddell. Center field. 2 infielders and an outfielder coming to the plate here in the top of the third inning. Still on the mound is Zarion Sharp. Out of UNC Wilmington, Drew Swift swings at the first pitch, drives it deep right field. That's going to back up Jamal O'Gwyn. Trying to find it up in the fog. He's able to locate it and settle underneath it for out number 1 here in the third. So Drew Swift gives it a good ride out to right field, but unable to find outfield grass as he's retiring for out number 1. So that'll flip the lineup over. Brad Beasley, the center fielder out of Cal Poly. His first game back with the Red Sox here in 2019. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to second to lead off the ballgame. He bats from the right side. Sharp fires, fastball at 86. It looks like it misses outside, and the count goes to 1-0. The fog has thickened here in the third inning. It was a light fog during batting practice. It went away for a little bit as Sharp winds 1-0. Fastball at the knees at 87, called a strike by the home plate umpire Rick Emerson, and it's 1-1. And then around first pitch, it started to come back. It was just a light fog at the time, so the two teams decided to play through it, not delay any longer. 1-1, it misses outside, and the count will go to 2 balls and a strike. Now, I wouldn't expect a delay because as the night goes on, the fog usually will get thicker, which it's doing right now. So where we are, we can barely see the outfielders from behind home plate. 2-1. Fastball rides high at 88, and the count will go to 3 balls and a strike. But here in the third inning, it's not looking great here getting through 5. We still need to complete 3 more innings here from Veterans Field for this game to count. If not, they'll postpone it and finish it another day. Sharp out of the windup, 3-1 pitch on the way to Beasley. Swing and a foul straight back into the netting behind home plate, and the count will run full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. There were 5 fog outs here at Veterans Field last season. The Red Sox were part of one of those. Their second time they came to Veterans Field on a Saturday night last year. A game Whitey won 5-3. 3-2, swing and a foul ball, and drifts out of play first base side, and the count will stay full. But right now, the fog is thickening so much that I cannot see Jamal O'Gwyn in right field.
I can just point him out. If you go right between the first and second baseman, TJ, just barely can see the outline.
And that right field fence also not very visible. 3-2, swinging a fly ball out to right field. O'Gwyn looking up into the fog. He found the baseball and makes the catch for the second straight out here in the third inning.
I knew you'd find him. You found him there eventually there for the second half of the inning. He just had to come in a little bit. We got to follow it, like put a laser pointer on him out there in right field or something. But as long as they can see the baseball, that's what matters. We've seen 3 flyouts now over the last couple batters for both teams. And Sam Hall saw it fine and right. Andrew Eisterman, an easy catch, and now back-to-back for O'Gwyn.
So here's Luke Waddell. He'll step to the plate batting from the left side with 2 outs. First pitch is fouled straight back. And, you mentioned they haven't had the outfielders tonight through 2 2/3 innings here in the top of the third, and not really struggled too much to find the baseball. We'll see how that goes as the night progresses, though. Sharp winds, and the 0-1 to Waddell. Swinging a grounder up the middle, trickles its way into center field for a base hit. First base hit since the first inning for the Red Sox, their third on the evening. And Waddell is aboard for 2 with 2 outs, and that will bring up the red-hot Austin Wells as he'll take off the knee pads in the on-deck circle, and he'll step to the plate here with 2 outs and looks to extend the YD lead here with 2 outs.
And the way he's hitting, you just got to get on base in front of him because he is driving the baseball that well right now. Just seeing it at the plate. And everybody else might be struggling to see the ball in the fog, but I think it might just look normal rather than the balloon it's been the last couple days.
So Wells steps in from the left side. Already 1 for 1 today. He doubled back in the first, came around to score the only run. First pitch, fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Wells on Sunday, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs. He was 4 for 7 in the 2 games, the pair of 7-inning games against the Catuit Cavaliers, which the Red Sox won and tied. He awaits the 0-1 as Sharp will make a move over to first base instead. Waddell back in plenty of time. Ended up winning Cape Cod League Player of the Week, first week of the season. He's riding a 4-game hit streak as well. Sharp again sets at the belt, taps the toe a couple times. He kicks home the 0-1. Fastball rides outside at 89, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Pac-12 Freshman of the Year as well. Hit .350 in the spring at Arizona. Native of Las Vegas, Nevada. Z-bats left-handed. Count even at 1-1. Waddell off of first base. Sharp sets and another move over to first base. And Waddell again back without a dive. Not too big of a lead over there. Just about an average size lead. Wells attended Bishop Gorman High School in Nevada. Top recruit in their 2018 class. 1-1. There goes Waddell from first. Swing and a miss from Wells. Throw down to second base by Smith is leaks by and gets into center field. Waddell up quickly from second. He goes all the way to third. He's being waved home by Pick. The throw into the plate. They've now got Waddell in a rundown. They're trying to throw it back to third. Polkovich pump fakes him. Waddell will run towards home plate. He's tagged and he's out. So Scott Pickler at third base, the aggressive send, trying to get Luke Waddell home to score, make the Anglers make a play. So Waddell steals second base. The ball gets by the middle infielders and gets into center field to Drainus Ozuna. Waddell got up immediately from second base, ran towards third. He was in there in plenty of time, but Pick, trying to make the Chatham defense make a play, sends Waddell from third base where he gets caught in a pickle and is eventually tagged out by Caden Polkovich to end the inning. So with all that, we'll head to the bottom of the third here in Chatham, 1-0. YD over the Anglers here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
The third baseman,
Bottom of the third inning here from Chatham, 1-0. Red Sox lead over the hometown Anglers here on a foggy Wednesday night here in Chatham, Massachusetts, on the elbow of Cape Cod. So John Beller out for his third inning of work, the left-hander out of USC. He'll get the top third of the Anglers order, Caden Polkovich, Tyler Dones, and then Spencer Torkelson. Polkovich 0-for-1. Entered today on a 3-game hit streak. He popped out to first base to lead off the ball game. It's the first pitch from Beller, a curveball at 74. Catches the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Beller, a 3-pitch guy, a fastball, a slider, and a curveball. 0-1 on the way. Fastball dribbled up the middle. Ranging behind second base is Luke Waddell. Fields throws it over to first base, and it's in time to get Polkovich. Pretty defense there from Luke Waddell, showing good range from his shortstop position, ranging up the middle to get that ball behind second base and make a strong throw over to Tate Samuelson at first for the first down.
That's great range. And he got rid of it so quickly that makes it easier. As soon as that ball was in his glove, it was headed to Samuelson at first. Really strong play.
So here is the second baseman, Tyler Dones, swings at the first pitch, skies it out to left field. Andrew Eister looking up into the fog, a few steps back to his left. He's there. He'll make the catch for a quick out number 2. And that will bring up the dangerous Spencer Torkelson here with 2 outs.
Eister doesn't always go on a straight line to see the ball, but he makes the catch every time. He saw it well, kind of circled his way back to it, but he got there eventually in left field. You imagine that's something he's going to work on as he tries to continue to get drafted. He's there at the plate. Try to get those routes ironed out.
So here's Beller facing Torkelson. First pitch, fastball at 86 over on the inside edge for strike one. Torkelson, first game played on the Cape this summer. He's going to go to Team USA here in about a week and a half. Don the red, white, and blue. 0-1. Misses inside, and the count will even up at a ball and a strike. One of the top home run hitters in all of college baseball. This guy is just something special at the plate for Tracy Smith's ball club down in Tempe. Hit 10 home runs in 31 games last season, including the postseason with the Anglers. That is just finishing his freshman season. Now here's a sophomore. 1-1, swing and a miss from Torque, and the count's quickly 1-2. These two at the plate and then on the mound, both out of the Pac-12, part and actually the battery and the guy in that right-handed batter's box, all from the Pac-12. Arizona, Arizona State, and USC. Beller kicks the 1-2. Swing and a dribbler towards third base. Fielding it is the third baseman, R.J. Yeager. Fields, throw over to first base, skips in there, and gets past Samuelson. It goes all the way to the fence. Torkelson will turn the bag at first. He'll take the bag at second. A costly throwing error there with 2 outs for the YD defense and R.J. Yeager. The inning will continue here for the red-hot hitting Jamal O'Gwin. So it's going to be an E5 on R.J. Yeager at third base as he just skipped the throw over to Tate Samuelson at first base, and the inning will continue.
Looked like he just kind of short-armed it a little bit. You wonder if maybe as the fog continues to settle, if the grass is a little bit damp, if maybe that causes a little bit of moisture on the baseball and just caused him to seize up as he started to throw it. We've seen Yeager show off a great arm over there at third and just really just short-armed it that time on the throw and extends the inning.
Yeah, and on an easy ground ball, too. Maybe a little bit of spin on that as it got in on the hands of Torkelson. As the fog all of a sudden has thickened up in an instant as the first pitch over on the inside corner for a strike. It's 0-1.
So the red jerseys stand out a little better for YD, but I'm even having trouble seeing him out, Sam Hall out in right field at the moment.
I'm talking in past 15 seconds. The fog thickened in an instant as the outfielders dimmed. Beller ahead 0-1. He peeks back at Torkelson at second. Here's the pitch. Curveball in the dirt at 68 miles an hour. It's 1-1. So this is the third straight inning an angler has reached with 2 outs. In the first, it was a single and a walk. In the second, it was on a dropped third strike. And here in the third, it's on an E5. And this is probably the last guy in this angler's lineup you want up to give an extra out to. 1-1. Swing and a foul out of play. And the count will go to 1-2. These two teammates, Jamal O'Gwin and John Beller at USC. O'Gwin entered today and hitting .391, which is second in the Cape League. Pair of doubles, a home run for him. One of 2 home runs in this Anglers lineup that they've managed over their first week of the season. But he's also reached base in every game. He extends that streak with his walk back in the first inning. Beller sets. He's ahead in the count. Here's the 1-2. Fastball rides high at 86. It misses. And the count will even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here. Bottom of the third inning from Chatham. 1-0 Red Sox lead. As John Beller's an out away from getting through 3 scoreless on just 1 hit. The lefty out of USC sets. He peeks back at Torque at second. 2-2. Off speed. Misses low. A curveball there from Beller. And the count will go to 3 balls and 2 strikes. The lights on and in as much effect as they'll have here through the fog at Veterans Field. The fog coming from left to right from the outfield. Comes from behind the Chatham press box, which is situated on the third base side. 3-2, dribbler foul up the third base side, and the count will stay full on O'Gwin.
That was a really good curveball by Beller. That was sharp even at 3-2. He wasn't slowing it down just to flip it in there for a strike. Not giving in to his teammate at USC. It's Beller's best pitch. The fastball's going to nibble around the edges, might get some guys looking on it, but the curveball's the out pitch.
Beller sets. Torkelson off second, 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. There it is, Brian. That curveball up and on the outside edge, and O'Gwyn fans right through it for strike 3. So strikeout number 3 for John Beller gets him out of the 3rd inning and bails R.J. Yeager out of a 2-out error at 3rd base. We'll head to the 4th here from Veterans Field. 1-0. Red Sox lead over the Anglers here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Wells.
Top of the 4th inning here from Veterans Field. 1-0. Whitey leads over Chatham. 3, 4, and 5. Set to come to the plate for the Red Sox, Austin Wells, Riley Terada, and Tate Samuelson on to face a new arm on the mound for the Anglers. It'll be Cole Ayers out of the University of Kentucky. He's already made an appearance this season for the Anglers back on June 12th against Falmouth. The first pitch to Austin Wells, a fastball at 89 that Wells cuts right through for strike 1. It's 0-1. That only appearance, 3 scoreless innings, allowed just a hit, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. 0-1 misses low, a fastball at 89. And the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. This season with the Wildcats in 2019, a 4.05 ERA and 26 games out of the bullpen. 1-1 on the outside edge. Off-speed pitch at 82, and the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. He struck out 19, walked 16 in 20 innings in the spring. He wants 1-2. Swing and a line drive out to left field. It's sinking. It drops for a base hit. Austin Wells rounds the bag hard at first. He'll put on the brakes there as the left fielder Aiden Fernandez gets it back in. Austin Wells is 2 for 2 here on the foggy Chatham night as he's on to lead off this 4th inning. And that'll bring up Riley Terada, who drove him in back in the 1st.
The first hit he had was an absolute just smoked baseball off the right center field wall. This one he just kind of reached out for and went the other way with off the end of the bat. Did not hit it well at all. But what I love about it is how hard he ran to first. Never just thought, oh, that's going to be a single. Was looking to forced Chatham to hustle after the ball and make the throw back to the infield.
So here's Terada. First pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Terada out of Dayton, 176 hitter entering play today. Three doubles, though, for him and 3 RBIs. He drove in Austin Wells back in the 1st on an RBI single. Back-to-back 2-out base knocks there in the 1st frame. 0-1. This is low, and the count will go to a ball and a strike. The notorious Chatham Fog still hovering around here at Veterans Field. Comes in from the sea as Chatham is about as southeast as it gets on the Cape. Prime fog destination. 1-1. Fastball misses in off the plate. Home plate umpire Rick Emerson didn't think it caught the plate. So it's 2 balls and a strike to count on Terada. But the Cape itself encounters a lot of fog, but Chatham by far endures the brunt of these fog delays here at Veterans Field. 2-1. A The ball misses outside, and it gets away from Brady Smith behind the plate all the way to the backstop. So Austin Wells will take the bag at second base. And Riley Terada in a prime hitter's count here, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Got to be sitting dead right on a fastball. That time Smith, it looked like it was a pitch borderline on the outer part of the plate. He tried too hard to just frame it, pull it back a hair towards the corner, and skipped right off the webbing to the backstop.
So Terada digs in from the right side, now steps out as Emerson holds 2 hands up. The home plate umpire calls time. Terada back in, pinwheels the bat once, now rested up just above his shoulder. Here's the 3-1 from Ayers. Swing and a miss from Terada. He went chasing after a pitch right at the top of the strike zone and came up empty, and the count's now 3 balls and 2 strikes.
On the scoreboard here at Veterans Field, that said 95. Definitely some heat from Ayers. I don't know if it was quite that fast, but high heat.
Here's the 3-2. Swing and a foul straight back, and the count will stay full.
Ayers has been sitting in 90-91 range until that pitch to Terada. I'm not sure if it was quite up to 95, but nonetheless, strength on strength, the fastball in the 90s around your letters. Terada went after it. If he connects with the barrel, it's going to go a long way, and that's a good swing on 3-1.
Always looks good, but always tougher to catch up to that top shelf fastball. 3-2 swing, foul ball, first base side, and it drifts out of play. It's a swarm of kids. Goes after that one near the concession stand down the first base side here at Veterans Field. Count stays full, 3-2. With Wells on there over at second base, no one out here in the top of the 4th inning on a foggy night in Chatham, Massachusetts. Terada digs back in as time again is called by Emerson behind the plate. Pretty good crowd here for a Wednesday night. School just got out over the past week here on Cape Cod, so everything blooming a little bit more as we enter prime summertime. 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. An off-speed pitch there from Cole Ayers gets Terada to go down on strikes right at the knees. So there's 1 down for the Red Sox. Here in the 4th inning, first strikeout for Cole Ayers out of the bullpen. And that will bring up the 5-man Tate Samuelson. He's 0 for 1. So Samuelson out of Cal Poly digs in. The first baseman today getting his first start as a Red Sox. First pitch from Ayers. Curveball right down the middle for strike 1. It's 0-1.
It's a good pitch from Ayers. Sharp, about 10 miles an hour slower than the fastball. First time we've really seen him let that one rip today.
Samuelson, a .298 hitter at Cal Poly this season. In 54 games, 205 at-bats. He dribbles the 0-1 towards first base. Alex Terrell fields, goes to the bag himself. He steps on the pillow to retire Tate Samuelson. Advancing to third base on the grounder is Austin Wells. So there's 2 down. Runner at third base for the Red Sox. And to extend the lead, they'll go to Andrew Eister here, who will step to the plate with 2 outs. Eister grounded out to third, and Caden Polkovich to lead off the 2nd inning. He's going to look to cash in a 2-out RBI. Here in the top of the 4th inning. The Red Sox have 4 hits here through 4 innings. Eister digs in, open stance. First pitch, off speed, misses low below the knees. It's ball 1. But as I was mentioning before, pretty good crowd here in Chatham. Bleachers mostly full. And the newly renovated concrete and metal bleachers. Took out the old wooden ones that had been here at Veterans Field for quite a while. 0-1, fastball misses high at 89. And the count goes to 2-0 on Eister. Leading hitter for South Carolina this season. Also hit double-digit home runs for the Gamecocks.
Gotta think he's got the green light 2-0, and he swings as hard as anybody. He's looking dead red fastball, something to drive here.
Eister digs back in. Ayers sets 2-0. Swing and a rocket out towards center field. That's backing up the center fielder. Center fielder Ozuna. It gets down into the gap. Scoring is Austin Wells. As an RBI double from Andrew Eister into the fog in right center field. Extends the lead for the Red Sox. It's now 2-0 wide E.
That ball just kept tailing and tailing away from Ozuna. It felt like he was holding his glove out to catch it for forever. Now the umpires are going to get together and talk about this one, TJ. It's really foggy. With Whitey up 2-0, you wonder if that's what the discussion is. As that ball became hard to see out in center field.
And they're going to wave the Anglers off the field. So home plate umpire Rick Emerson is waving the Anglers off the field after that RBI double from Andrew Eister. So we're going to enter a 30-minute fog delay here at Veterans Field. They're going to wait 30 minutes. If the fog clears, we'll resume play. If the fog doesn't clear, then we'll be postponed and have to make up this game here at Veterans Field. So, a Chatham Classic here from Veterans Field. Fog delay time. Here on the eastern end of Cape Cod, 2-0 Red Sox leading over the Anglers. And, well, I'm glad you got to see one, Brian, because this Chatham fog is really stuff of mystery, sort of. You really got to experience it.
Everybody talks about it in Chatham, and it's just something that I feel like everybody has to see. I'll say this. I've seen it now once. I'm set. Don't need to see the Chatham fog.
We don't need to see
again.
it much more.
This is actually a pretty cool look for us right now, sitting down, looking over the field with the fog. I just wish it were a little bit less thick so we could play through it. I think the playing through would be really cool to see, but unfortunately we're under delay.
So here's the big thing here in this ball game. We're only in the top of the fourth inning.
Yep.
And if we could have gone another 2 full frames here from Veterans, not even 2 full frames, and out here in the top of the fourth, and then get through the bottom half of the fourth, and then all of the fifth, we could call this game final at 2-0. But because we sit here in the fourth inning, if this game is unable to resume here in 30 minutes from, we'll say the game got postponed at 8:10. So at around 8:40, we're going to check back in on this fog. If we can't continue here from Veterans Field, we're going to have to make this up on another date, which is already really frustrating for this Red Sox team, which has only played 6 games on the season, has got rained out twice on the season. They're going to have to play 2 doubleheaders here in this coming week. Twice at Falmouth on Sunday, and then twice against Harwich at home on Tuesday afternoon. A really tough stretch, 13 games in 12 days.
Yeah, 5 in 3 days in that little stretch. That's going to really test the arms more than anything. These guys, some have innings limits. You don't want to overstretch them when it's not their spring season. So it tests the arms more than anything. The batters can get up and play. You've got some pretty deep lineups in this Cape League, but it tests your pitching staff a lot. This team now really is going to be tested over these upcoming weeks. They've been impressive through a week so far. Like you said, frustrating. You've only played 6 games. It's the least in the Cape League. These guys just want to play. We just want to watch some baseball, and it's frustrating to say the least when there have been a couple days where it feels like they're close to playing and then it just hasn't quite gotten through. So we're going to hopefully, maybe it'll clear. I'm going to be optimistic and hope that it clears, but you just have to think as night falls here in Chatham, that seems to become less likely.
So last Friday at Bourne, the Red Sox were all slated, ready to go against the Bourne Braves. That game gets postponed due to the rain the night before, where Red Sox were able to play through it and keep the field all good. But the Braves having some trouble there at Dorn Park. They were postponed again today due to field conditions. There was some heavy rain last night here on Cape Cod, and the Braves were not able to get their game underway there at Dorn Park at Upper Cape Tech over there in Bourne, Massachusetts. All the other teams right now, besides the Commodores and Braves, are in action. Wareham taking down Katuitt 6-0 at Lowell Park. That game finished in 2 hours and 47 minutes. At McKeon Park, the Orleans Firebirds up 4-0 over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, who are still looking for their first win of the season. They're a couple innings away from going to 0-7-1 on the season. And then Brewster, who have won 5 straight ball games, are up 3-1 in Harwich over the Mariners. So I think we could skip forward a little bit if we're here in fog delay mode, talk about a few things.
It's fog delay mode. We can do a lot of different things.
We have quite a lot to talk about. And one thing I do want to talk to you about, you have not gotten to experience this yet, Fenway Day.
Yeah.
In about a week from tomorrow, in fact, where all 10 Cape Cod League teams will go up to Fenway Park in Boston and do, like a featured workout for all the scouts, for all 32 Major League, 30, I can't count.
30.
All 30 Major League Baseball teams. I'm
Yes,
thinking of the NFL for some reason.
It's okay.
But a really awesome experience. All the guys get to take infield, outfield. They get to do their positional drills. They get to run the 60 as well. And they all get to take batting practice, which is probably the most fun. We saw 3 different Red Sox smack one over the monster last season. And this season, it's going to be a really cool experience for all the players to get to go show out there on the big league diamond.
Some of these guys have never been to Fenway. I've been lucky enough to get to go as a fan. That'll be a different experience altogether. To go as a broadcaster, I think it's going to be so much fun for everybody involved. Some of these guys never have been to Fenway, period. And they're going to get to go and work out on Fenway. That's so much fun for them. And to get to show your skills in front of some major league big-time scouts, which they do here on a nightly basis, but that's in a different fashion in a big league park. Has to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience for everybody involved. I can't wait to experience Fenway from that atmosphere. Growing up, loving baseball as a former player, and I played in high school, did a couple showcases myself. Couple showcases, not quite Fenway Park showcases. It's got to be so much fun for some of these players who have been highly rated recruits and gotten to do those showcases, but a different level altogether to get to do it in Fenway.
So how many times have you gotten to go to Fenway?
I've only been once, and it was a while ago. I forget exactly how old I was. I was in elementary school, went as a fan, got to see the Red Sox. I believe I was right around 10 because it was the summer that Manny Ramirez got traded from the Red Sox to the Dodgers. Saw him homer as both a Red Sox and a Los Angeles Dodger that summer. It's my fun fact.
Special right there.
Fun fact. I believe it was 2008.
2000, that sounds about right.
So I would have been 10 when Manny got traded right towards kind of the end of his big-time playing career. He won the World Series twice as a Red Sox, but going to Fenway was so much fun then. And growing up a Cubs fan, comparing it to Wrigley Field was special just in the sense that it's these two so many stories in that ballpark. You just have a feeling when you walk in, it feels like a different type of baseball. And that's so much fun. I can't wait to go back. And being up here on Cape Cod and in the New England area, I was really looking forward to both going to Fenway Day in that sense, but also going as a fan, hopefully again at some point this summer.
So Anglers and Red Sox in a fog delay here in the top of the 4th inning. Red Sox on top 2-0. Got to go to Fenway 3 times last summer. It was really special to be able to go there on Fenway twice as a fan, once during the workout. The workout was really cool. Red Sox were right in the middle of the pack for the workout. It was right around 1 o'clock off the top of my head that they got to. 3 Red Sox were able to hit home runs over the monster, and is truly special for all the players getting to go on the field and really perform in that high-quality environment up there in Boston. So the players are looking to kill time any way they want, like us broadcasters up here along the third base side behind home plate are waiting out this fog delay.
Some hacky sack going on for the Anglers.
A summer classic, I must say, hacky sack.
I can't tell what the bullpen is doing for the Red Sox on the right field line. Looks like they are almost running football routes out there. I wonder if somebody's got a football that they're chucking around to the right field line.
No, I might want to go catch a pass.
That was a big thing for the team I was with last summer. They love to throw the pigskin around. All sorts of different ways to kill some time, that being one of them. And the bullpen gets as competitive with any of that. There's always all sorts of fun stuff happening down in the bullpen, whether that's playing football or just whatever they're doing during the game, trying to stay into the game, but also just stay loose down there. Those guys are always a great time. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. They're playing football in the fog down there.
So I know you were in the Northwoods League last summer, Brian. Any fog delays in the Northwoods League?
No fog delays in the Northwoods League. Just not quite enough fog. The only big area of water there is Lake Michigan that we really experienced. And no team is, well, that's not true. The Kenosha Kingfish are right on the lake, but I did not get any fog delays. I know Kenosha has gotten fog delayed on occasion up there, but I did not get to experience that. And it's not quite as legendary or as often even as what happens here in Chatham. Even though sitting in the broadcast booth there, TJ, you can see Lake Michigan from the broadcast booth.
That must be a really
It's
nice view.
A nice little view. And actually, a few summers ago, the All-Star game was there in Kenosha, and they held the home run derby on Lake Michigan.
Oh, man.
So they had markers out into the lake for how far the balls went. You had to hit it a certain distance. The players were on a platform. The pitchers were on another platform. They just had these baseballs that were okay to go in the water, and they had the home run derby on Lake Michigan.
I'm jealous. I want to do that.
I did not get to experience that one. The All-Star game was actually where I was in Kalamazoo last summer, but that seemed like I saw plenty of videos and pictures. Seemed like that was a lot of fun. They did a great job there in Kenosha with that home run derby and that All-Star game.
That really seems like the ultimate summer ball thing, taking batting practice or a home run derby on a lake. Really special. I guess maybe if you don't hit a home run, you have to jump in the lake and swim out there and collect everyone else's balls or something like that.
I think this guy who won did celebrate by doing a front flip into the lake.
Oh, that's awesome.
Instead of the bat flip,
man.
a front flip. That's the only way to do it if you're hitting on the water.
You get it like 85 degrees, the sun's out, no clouds. Like, well, what's better than a day at the lake?
Can't beat it. And that's the great way to spend an All-Star break and the home run derby the day before in the Northwoods. They take a few days off from their grind of a season there. Absolutely a great way to spend the day. I'm sure it was that summer.
So were they shagging balls on a jet ski?
I don't know. I didn't even ask that question or figure out that whole story behind it. I just know that the balls ended up landing in the water. I know there were a couple people kind of like in San Francisco. You've got the kayaks. There were a couple people set up in kayaks beyond like the home run distance trying to get a little Bay Area action there. But I'm not sure how the baseballs ended up being collected.
Yeah, that is something. There's not really many waters here we could do that on. Of course, Cape Cod right here, sticking out into the Atlantic Ocean. And of course, Chatham, if we were to go out in the waters out here, nice cool waters up here, find some sharks.
Shark catch a home run ball. That'd be something.
The home place of Jaws here on Cape Cod. Wonderful movie that scared me into not going into the water too much here in my now second summer on Cape Cod. Still a very spectacular vacation place for people coming for the summer. It's only going to get busier here as we roll closer to 4th of July, I'd say about 2 weeks from now, if my calendar working is about right. About 2 weeks from now, 4th of July, we'll be here on Cape Cod. It's one giant party. A week from tomorrow. 2 weeks from tomorrow.
2 weeks from tomorrow. So we have tomorrow, a week from tomorrow's Fenway Day, and then 4th of July. Good couple Thursdays.
Good couple Thursdays in a row. I must agree. So Anglers and Red Sox, in case you missed it, in a fog delay here from Veterans Field. 2-0 Whitey leads over Chatham. Only needed 5 innings to complete this ball game. Fog started early, continued through the whole game, and finally thickened up enough for the umpires to put us in a fog delay. So here from Veterans Field, I think we'll step aside and we'll come back with any updates here from Veterans. 2-0 Red Sox here in a fog delay from Chatham. We just received the official word here in Chatham. This game will be postponed. Red Sox leading 2-0 here in the top of the fourth inning as they got their runs here. Riley Tirana RBI single and then an RBI double from Andrew Eister that caused this game to go into a fog delay that we currently just ended, and the game will be postponed to a later date here at Veterans Field. So right now, Red Sox ahead 2-0. For Brian McLaughlin, I'm TJ Matthewson. The finals one last time. Here through 4 innings, 2 runs for the Red Sox on 5 hits, no runs for the Anglers on 1 hit. This game being made up on a later date. Again, for Brian McLaughlin, I'm TJ Matthewson. Thank you so much for tuning in, and good night from Chatham.